guys, if you're new here, my name is Genevia and welcome to My Candid Life. Today we're going to be talking about my top 5 goals for teaching coming up this year. This will be my first year teaching in August of 2020 and I'm very excited. I'll be working here in Texas. I already have a job. I will be a 10th grade English teacher, so I'm very excited for that. Very excited for the content that I'm going to make regarding that. And today I'm going to just be talking to you about my top 5 goals. My 5 goals are not in-person teaching specific because who knows if we're going to be teaching in person, if we're going to be teaching online. That's still pretty up in the air right now because of everything that's going on. But if you like this idea, make sure you keep watching and let's get into the video. Number 1 is I want to create positive relationships with all of my students. I mentioned this in my top 10 tips for student teaching video, and if that's up yet, I'll link that up here. If not, it should be up the following week. But I'm really excited to build relationships with my students. I've learned from student teaching that that's the greatest thing that you can do in teaching is to create those relationships. I feel like my personal philosophy and belief is the relationships come first, teaching comes second, because with the relationships, teaching always follows. And to me, it's not always that way, vice versa. But this year, I really want to create positive relationships with my students. This is going to be a lot harder if we are doing distance learning, but I'm definitely going to figure that out and talk to my fellow teachers about how to accomplish that. But that's my goal every year, is to make positive relationships with my students where they know that I care, where they know that they can feel safe in my classroom, that they can raise their hand and I'm never going to embarrass them and I'm not going to allow anybody else to embarrass them. I think it's really important that your students know that you care about them as a person. In return, they will care about you, and by you, I mean your curriculum. They will want to try for a person who's trying for them. So with creating positive relationships, how I want to achieve that is first day of school. I'm going to humanize myself to the point where they know that I'm a human and I'm someone who they can speak to. But also you have to create rules to create relationships. And this is what I mean by that. It's really important that your students know that in your classroom, everyone will be respected, not just you. I don't aim to have a classroom where it's just like, Miss Genevia must be respected, but if you talk about someone else in her classroom or pick on someone else in her classroom, she'll just let it go and keep teaching. That's not the type of teacher I am. The type of teacher I am is I want my students to know that I want respect and I will give them respect, and in turn, I will make sure everyone else gives them respect. And I think when a student knows that you're willing to be that champion for them and really help them succeed in whatever ways they want to succeed in your classroom, that will help. Number 2, my next goal is I really want to become more comfortable with sharing my ideas. This is another tip that I talked about in my top 10 things I learned in student teaching video, but it's really hard when you're new, and especially when you're young. I'm only 21 years old, so it's really difficult to come into a room, come into your team lead's room, or come into a room where you're supposed to be collaborating with other teachers, especially veteran teachers who I have so much respect for and I really want their opinion. It's really hard to give your opinion back, because sometimes I feel like I don't want to step on someone's toes or be out of place. But it's important that I realize, and if you're a new teacher and you're young, for you to realize that you have the job just as much as they do. You were hired as well. You were placed in this position because your principal or whoever hired you believes in you and knows that you can do this. And your fellow teachers will listen. I found that in student teaching, when I stepped up and when I spoke up, it was always received very well, and I know it will be with my new team too, which I'm very excited about. But I would really love for one of my main goals is to become more comfortable with speaking up, become more comfortable with sharing my ideas and not just keeping them to myself. And I never keep them to myself in a selfish way. It's more of, what if it's wrong? What if it doesn't sound good? What if someone else has done it and it's bombed for them? It's important that you just say it. It's never gonna hurt you to say it. And that's my goal this year, is to really put myself out there. And if it's an idea that bombs, it just bombs and it'll be fine. And if a teacher tells me that they feel like that's not going to work, ask for ways that they think that you can improve it. And if you still want to do it, you can do it. And then there's my little pupper. You can do it and then you can evolve later. So that's my goal. I want to be very confident with speaking my ideas. My third goal is to find my idea of a work-life balance. I've always worked throughout college, but it's a different battle. My school always came first and my work always kind of came second because I wasn't doing any work that I was passionate about and that was exciting. But with teaching, this is what I'm passionate about. And I'm finally getting to live my dreams. I'm finally getting to step into my main goal in life, which was to become a teacher. However, I really want to make sure that I don't lose any other parts of me. I have a boyfriend who you've seen on this channel who I don't want to not hang out with him. I don't want to not hang out with my friends. I don't want to not have time for myself, most importantly. And I think that's important. My first year, I really want to find my idea of a work-life balance. I'm a perfectionist. I really like working. I like having things to do. So my idea might be 10 times more work than somebody else or 10 times less work than somebody else. But that's fine. Everyone's balance isn't going to be the same because everyone's scale isn't the same. Everyone's time in their day isn't the same. But I really want to establish those habits that make work for me still enjoyable. I never want to burn out of teaching. This is what I want to do my entire life. So I really want to make sure that starting from day one, year one, that I'm finding that balance for myself, whatever that is. Goal number 4 for me is to do my best every single day, even if my best is 50%. And this is what I mean by that. Every day, you have to go into a school, you have to go in front of students, and you have to teach. And not only do you have to teach, but you have to have relationships with your students. You have to make 100 different decisions a day. You have to do so many things as a teacher. Teaching is a taxing job. I learned that in student teaching. But it's something that I love to do. So I really want to make sure that every day I'm walking into the school, giving it my best. And if I've had a hard week, if I've had a hard month, if my students, I know 5th period is just gonna wear me down today, whoever those students will be, I want to go in and say, to myself, you're having a really tough day and your gas tank is only at about a 60%, but I'm going to give all of that 60%. You're not going to have 100% every day to give, and that's okay. Majority of the days, I want to give 100%. I want to put myself out there. I want to talk up in team meetings. I want to teach the best lesson, but that's just not realistic. With teaching comes humanity, comes yourself, comes the human that you are before you are a teacher. And some days all you have is 70%, and some days I'm just going to give the best 70% that I have. And that's my goal, is to do my best every single day with whatever I'm giving, whatever I'm going through. And I will hope that my students will do the same. I don't expect my students to be at 100% every day. Maybe they didn't sleep well the night before. Maybe they're working and they don't know how to balance their life yet either with work. Maybe they're in sports. So I want to be able to give each other the space to say, I'm at a 60% today, guys, but I'm going to try my best and I'm going to do the best that I can do to be the best teacher that you need. And I hope you can be the best students that I need today. Tip number 5, try different ways of teaching. What I mean by this is, as a teacher, as a person whose innate role in this life is to be a teacher, which I firmly believe mine is, I have a way that is born in me, a way of how I like to be taught. So in turn, that's how I teach. However, not every student of mine is a student that I was. And I think that's really important. Remember that you're going to teach the way that you like to be taught. However, not every one of your students is you. Not every one of your students has the same learning style, working style, the same drive that you have, the same passion that you had in that subject. I did very well in English, but I'm an English teacher. I was an English major. I love English. This other student who wants to be an engineer maybe doesn't have the same passion behind it, maybe doesn't want to read the whole novel. But what I will say is, it's my goal, it's my job as a teacher to try many different ways of teaching so I can reach many different students. Teaching is not one for all. Teaching is, everyone has their own style. But like I always said, like I said in this video and I'm said in the top 10 tips video, teaching is about evolving. It's about collaboration. So if I know that my student did really well and Miss Richardson's class last year and she's really doing bad in my class, why don't you go to Miss Richardson and ask her, well, how did you help the student out, right? I think it's really important that you don't just get stuck in, this is how I teach, this is my way, but really opening up that communication and figure out, how does that student learn? And that is huge for me. I know I said I had 5 tips, but I actually have 6. This is 6 in sign language if you didn't know. Don't stop learning. I've been in school for the last 17 years of my life. I've been learning since the age of 4. I am now 21. I've been a student. I just graduated college. I've done all the learning that I have to do to get to the point where I am now to be a teacher. But I don't ever want to stop learning. I don't ever want to stop reading books about teaching. I don't ever want to stop learning from my fellow teachers. I want to learn from my students. I want to learn from my administrators. I want to learn every single day, every single year, and I want to keep evolving as a person. That it would be a shame that after 17 years of learning that I just stop now because I don't have to do it anymore. Now's the part of learning that's going to get fun, because this is the learning that I want to do. I want to learn more about teaching. I want to learn how to be a better teacher, a better person, and this is the year that I'm going to start. And I really hope you guys like this video. These are my top 5 with a bonus, so 6 tips that I hope you really enjoy. I hope to see you here next time. I'm going to be posting more videos about teaching, more videos about makeup, fashion. I'm going to be posting whatever I like, because this is my candid life. Thank you for being here. Bye. I'm getting in. Okay, it says purecosmetics.com. I'm in.